Hello, I'm Dr. Garrett Bodie, chiropractor right here in Oldsmar, Florida. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about Colossus and PI report writing. Colossus is a software program used by the insurance industry to try to limit case values and therefore settlements for those cases. The number one thing that Colossus uses in determining case value is the doctor's records. This tells us that it is very important to make sure that we are working with doctors that are also not just also competent, but also very aware of Colossus and report writing with Colossus. In dealing with patients, you have to start with understanding that there are three phases of care. The first phase of care is the inflammatory phase, which can last anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, even up to a week. The second type of phase of care is the repair phase. The repair phase can last anywhere from 48 hours or 1 week up to 6 weeks, even 12 weeks, depending on the severity of that injury. And the final stage of healing is the remodeling phase that can last anywhere from that 6 week all the way up to 12 weeks, or up to 2 years. Again, all of these depend upon the severity of the injury that the patient has. For Colossus and how that relates to it, what we need to be able to do with each of the injuries that this patient has is we must be able to do four things. One, we must be able to objectify the injury. Can we objectively find it? Two, can we quantify the injury? Three, we must show how it affects that person's activities of daily living. And finally, we must be able to show that it can be reported in Colossus. This is important because this tells us and helps us drive the case value of these accident cases. The first thing you have to understand is that once an injury occurs, it's never going to heal 100%. And there are four factors that affect the healing, and that is in your repair collagen. Repair collagen is a type of tissue that the body uses to heal after an injury. Repair collagen has four very negative effects. The first two effects affect the soft tissue. Number one, repair collagen is only 70% as strong as the original collagen. Two, it's only 70% as elastic as the original collagen. These two factors alone, you can begin to see how in a spinal joint segment, how that alteration of strength and elasticity in that joint can affect the joint going forward and cause some instability. The other two effects of collagen or repair collagen on the body come in how it affects the nervous system. Repair collagen causes a proliferation of peripheral nerves. It also causes a lowered pain threshold for the firing of those nerves. Therefore, if we bring in together all four of these negative effects of repair collagen, we have a joint now that is less elastic, it's weaker, has more peripheral nerves, and those peripheral nerves fire at a lower threshold than the original nerves. These four negative qualities can present a patient that has an ongoing problem and pain into the future. Why does this relate back to Colossus? In Colossus, it does go back that these things can be quantified, objectified. You can show how they affect their activities of daily living, and they can be reported in Colossus. This is why these things are extremely important in making sure that you're reporting the right things to Colossus. Now, because of this change that this repair collagen has done, let's back up a minute and talk about ranges of motion. There are three types of range of motion. You have active range of motion, passive range of motion, and you have paraphysiological joint space motion. This is the motion of the two bones where they come together to form the joint. It is the movement of the bone inside that joint. And because of these effects of this repair collagen, we've already shown how it's going to affect and alterate or cause an abnormal movement of this movement or abnormal movement within the joint space. This is what is documented in the AMA guidelines, the 6th edition on page 577. It states what an alteration of motion segment instability is, and it describes it in there. Why is this important? Because it is and can be measured in Colossus. Therefore, increasing your case values and increasing your settlements. Colossus can be used against you, but if you understand Colossus and know how it works, you can use it to your advantage. These alteration of motion segment instabilities that occur in the spine after these injuries can have an impairment rating up to 25%. This is a great value in increasing the value of your cases and your settlements. Let's move on now to report writing, because it is extremely important to make sure that you are documenting your case properly, to make sure that these case values are shown to be proper. In your report, there are 5 things that come up, and they are listed here in order of value drivers for your case. They are your diagnosis, your impairment rating, your loss of activities, your duties under duress, and your prognosis. With your diagnosis, you want to make sure that you have all of the diagnosis there. Colossus allows up to 7 different diagnoses, so you want to make sure that you're putting those in there and putting all of them in there to make sure you're not leaving anything else out that could affect the case. 2 is the impairment rating. In this situation, you just want to make sure that you're following the AMA guidelines to make sure that you are documenting your case and documenting and quantifying the injury correctly. Next, we have loss of enjoyment of life. Enjoyment of life comes in any activities that we have to do, from home activities, work activities, hobbies, sports, studies, and in this particular case, hobbies is the greatest value driver in that situation. Your duties under duress are the activities that you must do, even if you are in pain. Things like work, homework, studies, domestic activities, and these can also have a big effect on your case value. Finally, we come to prognosis. With prognosis, you basically want to make sure there is a thing within the prognosis that you want to make sure that you have a certain diagnosis that fits the complexity of the case that you have. And in most cases, you want to make sure that you also have a second opinion from a medical doctor. This will help to increase the complexity of the diagnosis that you're able to put for this particular patient. It also will allow you to give you a difference in economic damages and non-economic damages. Economic damages being such things as loss of income, on cost of ongoing health care, or even such things as alteration of the home due to the injury. Non-economic damages go to things like pain and suffering, loss of credibility due to the injuries that you have, and loss of credibility with friends and family. There are 2 types of injuries basically in auto accident cases. There's demonstrable injury, where the injury itself can be seen either through a scar or a bruise or a broken bone or disfigurement. Then you have non-demonstrable injuries, which are ones that are usually soft tissue. And because these can't be seen, they are typically given lower value points. In going through at the beginning of any case, it always starts at the beginning in dealing with the patient and making sure you get the information necessary. And there are 6 things that you want to make sure that each case has. You want to make sure that you take an exceptional history on every single patient. You want to make sure that the intake forms are asking the right questions to get the valid information. You want to make sure that you do a very thorough and complete examination. And you want to make sure that you do reports and reevaluations on a timely or monthly basis. And that the reports that go along with those exams or reevaluations that you're doing on a monthly basis, make sure that they reinforce or reinstate not only what you're finding on the patient, but going back to making sure that you're documenting properly for Colossus to make sure that you get the highest value and case value of the cases that you have. Again, I'm Dr. Garrett Bodie. I hope this report has helped you a little bit. If you have any more questions or problems that we might be able to help you with, please feel free to contact us here. Again, I'm Dr. Garrett Bodie right here in Oldsmar, Florida. Our address is 13694 West Hillsborough Avenue, Tampa, Florida. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.